I found a way to learn 100 words every week in just about 15 minutes a day. Let me tell you about it. Other Japanese learning strategies fail because they focus basically on overworking your visual memory. They take a lot of time and burn you out. But as James Hasig implied in his book, it's not that you are dumb. It's just that you're using the wrong methods. JPDB, which is still free at the time of recording this video, is a huge database of words from anime, manga, video games, and basically any other media. It's also on a spaced repetition system, just like Anki, but tailored specifically for Japanese. That means that it automatically spaces out reviews for you, preventing burnout and improving retention. Now, let's talk about pacing, because trust me, I've made this mistake. JPDB lets you customize how fast you learn, which sounds great, right? But here's the catch. If you go too fast, you will burn out. Inevitably. Golden rule, start slow. 5 to 10 words a day is more than enough. If you're hardcore, 10 to 20 max. Any more and you'll drown down in reviews. I get that you want to learn fast. But remember, you're in this for years, not weeks. Don't torture yourself for a messy 30% time discount. The goal of JPDB is to help you learn exactly the words you need. If you're watching Attack on Titan, you can search for the specific deck and learn the most common words used in the show. Don't get me wrong, Anki is great, but it's like trying to measure your Japanese progress with a blindfold on. You keep adding words hoping you're making progress, but you really never know how much you actually understand. JPDB fixes that. It shows you exactly how much of the show you can expect to understand. So instead of guessing, you can see the real progress. So, how do you actually use JPDB without feeling overwhelmed? Step 1. Pick a specific episode. I personally like starting with the last episode of a season. Step 2. Learn as many words from that episode as possible before watching. Step 3. As you watch, be very attentive and review the words in context. At first, an episode may seem like it has way too many words, 5,000 or more. Across 25 episodes, that's roughly 12,000 words. Sounds scary, right? But here's the trick. You don't actually need 12,000 unique words. You only need about 4,000 words to understand 100% of the vocabulary of the entire show. Which I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a lot. But tell me, doesn't it feel more achievable? Most conversations use a hilariously small number of words. Think about it. In your native language, do you use 10,000 different words every day? Probably not. Once you have mastered Attack on Titan's vocab, you already know like 90% of the words used in any other medieval fantasy setting. And if you learn just 10 words a day, you'll be able to watch Attack on Titan in perfect Japanese in about a year. But here's where it gets interesting. After just 3 months, you already understand 80% of the words in the entire anime. Also, when watching this kind of shows, most of the context is visually represented. If you get a sentence where you recognize 4 out of 5 words, you'll likely guess the last one correctly. And guess what? That's also stunning. Immersion learning has always been the best way to learn a language. I learned French as a kid simply by being exposed to it. I never studied verb lists or grammar rules, but still, I became fluent in about 2 or 3 years. Now, imagine if I had the right tools to accelerate that process. We don't have 24 hours a day to immerse ourselves in a language. At least I don't have it. But we can leverage every tool available. Quick tip, if you see a word you already recognize from audio or text, don't waste time reviewing it. Why? Because you'll hear it naturally in the anime, and it probably will stick better that way. Focus on new words, the ones that don't really click immediately. Those are the important ones. If you follow these rules, you will find that reviewing cards takes little to no time and can be done multiple times a day. I personally study a bit in the morning, a bit during the day, and a bit at night. I also watch anime before bed, so it helps reinforcing vocabulary. I must also say that having one single day off from anime makes a huge difference. Your ability to recognize words declines quickly, so try to be consistent. Just 1 episode a day is enough though. Setting up JPDB is quite simple actually, that's why I love it. You log in and go to the built-in deck section. Find a deck for an anime, manga or game you like. Adjust your new vocabulary learning options in settings. For the method I've described, the second option works best. Minimum requirement, you need to know at least hiragana to use JPDB effectively. Still learning Nagana? I created an app to make it easier, so check out that video. It's pretty good.